Hello, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader, and it is Tuesday night, April the 3rd. Well, the markets were quite volatile today, both down and then back up at the end of the day, but it doesn't mean we are out of the woods yet, and we can still see some lower levels. However, we'll still talk about longs and shorts today, about a 10 of each. In front of you, you have ARQL, this low-price biotech stock, which has been moving nicely in the last few months. With the breakaway gap here, and the run up to the top of the channel and resistance, that caused the consolidation over the prior 2 months. Now, if you take a look at the last two sessions, you'll see a pop Monday and then another pop Tuesday, up another 37 cents or 4.87%. Today's volume increased to just under 1 million shares. Now, the the February high was about 819, and today's high was 806, so we're approaching that. And although my target was about 840, my secondary target is around 9.5, 3/4. At the top of the channel up here. ARSD, we've been explaining to you that the stock had been coiling for about 3.5 months. Now, last week, it popped out with some significance and then pulled back. Yesterday came on again, and today came up, 89 cents or almost 9%. Its volume increased to 288,000. Not a lot, but a lot for that stock. It's the biggest volume all year for a day. You can see how this run up, consolidation, and this run up here calls for a move that can take this into mid-teens. CONN had a big move and has been moving of late. And if you take a look at the major base pattern that it broke out of here, the key to the recent move was the pop and flag, and then the steady move up with a little bit of a pullback flag here. That occurred last week, and then this week on Monday and Tuesday, we have seen the stock go from just about 15 to nearly 20 in 2 sessions. Huge volume for that stock today, 1.78 million shares, up 15.5%. Now, on a historical basis, you'll see that there's a spike high up here around the 25 area, which would be my logical next target and potential resistance, of course, somewhere up in that zone there. Step back and you'll see where it is right there. Shanda Games is now up in a key resistance zone. I wanted to show it to you because it jumped 9% of 48 cents today on 1.2 million shares, good volume. Should it get through the zone, and it did close very well. One of the impressive parts about today was not just the gain, but the fact it closed 3 cents off the high, which is right at resistance. If this should move through here, the next key level will be potentially somewhere up around, let's call it 6 3/4. Beyond that, 7 3/4. Heat had a huge day today. Let's take a look. Stock opened around the 298 area, and that was the low, and then exploded to 6 at one point, doubling intraday in one day. It did back off to 525 from 6, however, still up 251 or 91.6%, by far the winner of the day. And what today did was take out all 3 moving averages and the declining tops line of the last 4 or 5 months, and also the lateral price resistance at the January high, which is about 550. It managed to close near there. Let's see if there's a follow through on this one. If we do get one, with that kind of a thrust, we may very well get one. And I wouldn't be shocked to see the stock make it up to try something up around the 8.5 area. That's my next major target. Motivation, I've been telling you for months, is going to 100, and the stock, after popping and coiling and then continuing to run up, consolidated for another couple of months and broke out today. Top of the channel says 109.10 zone. Wouldn't shock me if it got there. Posen continues to press higher and moved across one level of resistance with the next target around 8.815. That's my next target for Posen. SZYM, Solozyme had a big day up $1.72 on news of a deal. Keep 12% gain. What it did was break across this declining tops line and that one before closing back to settle there. Targeting at 18 1/4 for my next goal or target on Solozyme, which puts it up near the top of that channel up around there. Baringo, second big day today, although it did back off late in the session. It reached 405 from yesterday's entry point where I gave it to you around 2.5. So very nice 40% move in a day plus. It did pull back. Let's see if it can consolidate in here and set us up for more higher levels. ZAG had a significant day perhaps as it took out the range of the entire three months or so and popped to as high as 1181. Now it did back off to 1150, up 35 cents or 3%. But the volume was pretty good, the best in a couple weeks. And it was in a resistance zone, so we need to see if we can pop through the $12 range, which is resistance. Secondary target 13.8514, maybe even as high, potentially at the top of the channel, 15.5. That's it for the long review. Let's see some of the shorts. Here's a quick review of a few of the short positions. Okay, starting off with alphabetically again, AP, AGF, that's APCO Oil and Gas. Now, it doesn't look that bad right there, but if you look at the 2-day chart, you'll see a massive topping formation. You see the vulnerability here. The fact that it came down hard to support, broke it slightly, formed a bit of a wedge perhaps, and it's beginning to roll over, down $1.87 or nearly 3% today. If it breaks this platform, we should see a quick hit to at least somewhere around 56.7 for a potentially 8 to 10 point short. Keep an eye on that one. ARLP continues to be under pressure, down another 272 or 4.5% today. If you take a look at the longer term chart, you'll see the major uptrend line was broken. Key supports being tested here. And if that's taken out, and it was down sharply today to close at a new closing low underneath that line, we could very well extend as quickly as tomorrow and see a spike down that takes us into the mid to high 40s. Deckers continues weak, sliding nearly every day. Today down only a fraction, but still pressing the lows for the last year and then some, year and a half. Now there is potentially some support up in this zone here, but we'll call, and that's around 54. With his stock at 62.97, I'll call for some more downside on Deckers down to that, let's say 55 range. First Solar, absolutely getting crushed, down another 245 or 10% today, as this falling wedge was broken to the downside. At this point, I'd have to say the possibility exists that we see this move all the way down towards 1617. MDC Partners broke the other day, rallied back, and then rolled over hard today, down another 66 cents or 6%. And it looks to me like it doesn't hold the 10 range, which it may test tomorrow. We could see it at 8.5. National Presto, which got creamed last month and then formed a bear wedge, has been broken down 2 days ago, continues to slip. It looks like it's headed for 68. Real Page is on life support here. As you can see, the big hit and the wedge it formed was broken. Its support was tested. It then bounced feebly off support, rolled over 58 cents to 3% today, and is right at that support level. Any move under 18.25 or so, we could see 15.5, 16. UPL, a new 52-week low, maybe a multi-year low, excuse me. I looked at this the other day. Couldn't believe it's the lowest level since 05, 7-year low. Now, if we break here, this thing could cascade down towards 16, 17 zone. USHS, which we talked to you about a couple weeks ago when this bear wedge formed, is broken hard from the 12.5 range to 9. A little bit of a bear flag, and then a rollover. WRLD also broke hard today, down $1.82, nearly 3%. But more importantly, it's the lowest close of WRLD since October. We very well may see the 56 range, perhaps even as low as 53.4 before it's over. That's a review of the longs and the shorts. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.